Okay, so we've got our dimension style created. We can start having a look at creating a few dimensions. So I pop in here and yeah, you know some of these commands already from level 1. Pop that dimension in and we can see that's not right as per the book. Remember we have a little sort of linear style to create. Pop in another dimension across the bottom here. But at least you can see we're getting the right sizes now, so 120 tells me that that's at least working correct that way. Do an align dimension then up the side here, and we get that, and then maybe do a continue dimension then. And you can see that's kind of placed it sort of away from that with a leader, so not ideal, but we're going to modify that now in a little second. So pop in a diameter dimension here, and for some strange reason they decide that this should be a radius dimension. If I left click on that, you can actually pull that sort of away. If you're not happy with the position, you can pull it away with the grips in there. You know, once you can left click on it, you can change and move the position with your grips. Just get back to this radius 10 thing. We don't know what they're at with this. If it's a circle and it's a hole drilled through, could you imagine giving somebody that drawing to work on and you're telling them you want them to get a radius 10 drill? Really you should be giving them the diameter, so we'll leave it in because that's what they've kind of got done, but not an ideal sort of situation to go dimension it, so don't go doing that just because you've seen it done on in the notes here. So we've got our radius and our linear dimensions and diameter dimensions done. Now we're happy enough with the way the radius and the diameter dimensions are appearing, and if I go over here as well, even when we do an angular dimension by just clicking on the two straight lines here, we're kind of happy enough that they all appear horizontal, but we don't really like the way the linear dimensions are coming on. Let's say we wanted to change how those are handled within AutoCAD. Well, if I pop in here again and with casting selected, I can create a new child of the parent style. So instead of actually creating a completely new one, ignore that top bit by renaming it. Come down here and select linear. So we're starting with the casting dimension style, but this is how we want casting to handle linear dimensions. So if I click continue, we're going to go in and we're going to modify the casting dimension style just for linear dimensions only. So if I continue in here, if you look here in this window now, all we get in this little preview window are linear dimensions. So whatever we change is only going to be changing the linear dimension style. So the radius and the diameter and angular dimensions, whatever, will all stay the same. So I come back here to text, and all I really want to do is come in here and change this to aligned with the dimension line. Okay, so click OK on that. And you can see we've got casting, but a little line coming off here saying that this is a child of the parent style. And if you look down here in the description, casting is in here, and then linear is, and it gives you a little sort of description as to what additional changes you've made to the way this handles linear dimensions. Okay, so if I click close on that, it's seen it's automatically updated now. All my linear dimensions are now aligned with the dimension line. However, my radius and my diameter dimensions are all horizontal. Yeah, that's one that pops up in the test, so study that one for a little bit before you move away from it. Then we can kind of come along then, and there's just a few more bits and pieces to be drawn. A few more bits and bobs in this, so if I again come back here, do my linear dimensions over here, and another linear dimension then here. Just pop in there, make sure I get the right point. It's important you kind of get the right point because it's very easy if you, and particularly remember this little gap we created a good clearance on. If you haven't got that kind of cleared, it's very easy, and a common mistake is something like that, where people would do that and actually snap to the wrong thing, and if that gap was a lot closer, that kind of error becomes commonplace. So another good reason for you to increase the size of this gap to make it easier for you to actually pick your dimensions. Now you can see that's kind of, we can actually just change that to there. Okay, but in picking it, just make sure you select the right points. So we've got a 15mm dimension in there. Now we do our baseline dimension from that. So if I go there and there, you can see this is a bit kind of crushed, and that's what I was kind of saying. We're going to have to go in and modify that. Again, the book rightfully kind of pointed at that, but we just kind of left it just to show you that little dimension between baseline. So if I go in here again into lines, it's baseline spacing, and we maybe change that to 6. Click OK and click close. This is one of those unfortunate ones that doesn't update automatically. To make that right now, you have to actually redo them. So I delete those two. I don't need to delete the first one, because when I pick on the baseline spacing, you can see it's asking me to select the base dimension. That's my base dimension, and I can kind of pick then the next 2 points, and it knows that this is the line that I kind of want those dimensions taken from. So this is the baseline. Okay, so that's 150 by and 200. Okay. Moving along then. Next page of my notes. So the next one then is this little top one across here, and that's my dimensions there. Okay.